From the stands, baseball may look calm, but it can turn terrifying within seconds. Here are a few moments that remind us how dangerous MLB truly is. But before we dive into it, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more unbelievable MLB scenes and injuries. The fastball to the face that silenced the stadium.
Oh, that hit him on the helmet. And did it hit him in near the mouth or the jaw part of the...
Back goes...
A batter who is stepping into the box trusts his instinct and reaction time, but sometimes neither is enough. One of the scariest sights in MLB history is a pitch that gets away and strikes a hitter directly in the face. Here we have a moment where the ball wasn't deflected by a bat or helmet, and it ended up striking flesh. The crack wasn't wood meeting leather, but leather meeting a bone, and chaos erupted everywhere. Blood appeared almost immediately. It was oozing on the grass as trainers were running from the dugout to help. Teammates were frozen in their places after watching the scene, and they were unsure whether to look at it or turn away. The batter was also staggered, and he was clearly disoriented as he was instinctively pressing his hand against his face. Medical staff were present there, and they were trying to stop bleeding, but the injury was quite severe. Cameras recorded the expressions of the entire crowd being stunned to see it all unfold before their eyes. Fans were covering their mouths. Many of them realized they had just witnessed something far beyond a routine hit by pitch. The thing that makes moments like this so terrifying isn't just the injury itself, but the uncertainty. Anything from facial fractures, orbital damage, to concussions can change a career or a life. The stadium remained eerily quiet as the player was helped off the field, and it was only broken by applause meant to show support to the brave player. This moment was a reminder that, even with helmets and modern safety gear, hitters stand just 60 feet away from projectiles traveling near 100 miles per hour, and sometimes survival comes down to a few inches. When A-line drive turns the pitcher into the target.
To the bat, right back to the mound. He threw it into Jose! Ramirez goes down, and now he looks to be hurt. And all the way to third. The ball, Jose and Guerrero all arrived at the same time, and this is the worst possible sight. Even though
pitchers are trained to finish their delivery and react, but no amount of preparation can fully protect them from a screaming line drive that comes straight back up the middle. In this particular moment, the pitcher was balanced on the mound. But the next second, a ball that was traveling over 100 mph came and slammed right into his head. All this happened before he could even flinch. The reaction from the batter is what tells the story first, and here, instead of sprinting to first base, he just froze in his place. He instantly knew that something had gone terribly wrong. The pitcher collapsed to his knees as he was struggling to orient himself, while teammates were frantically waving for trainers to arrive and handle the situation. Silence swept across the entire stadium while the medical staff carefully checked his neck, eyes, and awareness level. The thing that is chilling is how lucky these pitchers are, because a slight change in angle can mean the difference between a concussion and a fatal injury. In this chase, the ball struck the temple, which is an area every athlete fears. Watching these scenes of this pitcher stand, wobble, and then eventually walk off under his own power felt like a total miracle, rather than just a routine injury update. Protective headgear for pitchers has been debated for years. Incidents like these fuel such conversations and force the sport to confront its dangers. Even elite reflexes may not be enough to save you when reaction time is less than half a second. Broken bones on the base paths.
The first baseman Walker flips, and look out, a collision between a Rise who's... Mike Schilt, the manager, ran out there very quickly. So one in slow motion kind of pitched it to the first.
Head injuries are quite terrifying, but not all the scariest MLB injuries have to involve the head, as sometimes the danger strikes during a routine play. Anything from a hard slide, an awkward step, or a rushed throw can lead to bones getting snapped in such terrible ways that no athlete or fan ever wants to see. In this one horrifying moment, a runner charged himself toward a base and collided awkwardly with a defender. The impact didn't just knock them off balance, but it also sent him crumpling to the dirt, clutching his leg in obvious agony. Replays showed an unnatural angle of the limb that signaled a fracture on the spot. Players who were present nearby quickly looked away as they knew what had happened. The pain of this injury was visible as the runner pounded the ground and trainers moved from their places while screaming. What made this whole moment more jarring was that the stretchers don't come out in baseball. MLB injuries are considered subtle, unlike those in football or hockey. Broken bones can derail whole seasons, sometimes careers. Recovery is not physical, it is mental. Players should learn how to trust their bodies, especially when an injury happens, even during a basic baseball action. The day a pitcher's arm gave out on live TV, very few injuries are as disturbing as watching a pitcher throw a ball and then immediately collapse in pain. No visible contact or no collision, and just a human body that has reached its limit. In this unforgettable incident, a pitcher released a breaking ball and instantly grabbed his arm. His face contorted in horror as he fell to the mound. The ball barely made it to the plate and sailed into the backstop wildly. Everyone knew a catastrophic event had occurred. Trainers moved out as the pitcher was writhing on the ground, clutching his elbow, and later he described the sensation as if his arm had exploded. It was a ligament tear due to the violent force used in throwing. These types of injuries are career-altering. Tommy John surgery has saved many careers, but the recovery is often quite long, painful, and uncertain. In this moment, all that existed was the pain, and nothing else mattered. They feared that everything he had worked for all these years might be over. Fans stood and applauded as he was being helped off the ground. This cheer was not in celebration, but it was actually in respect and to appreciate his courage and bravery for enduring all the pain. Seeing any athlete realize, in real time, that his body has given up and betrayed him is deeply unsettling for fans. Before we move to the next headshot, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insane MLB moments deep dives. Headshots that left everyone holding their breath.
Leg expecting impact, and he got...
Oh, look out! A shot right back at Cobb off his head, and the throw to first is in time, and Alex is straight down on the front of the mound.
Being hit in the head is every player's nightmare, whether they're pitching, batting, or fielding. One of the scariest MLB moments involved a fielder who took a line drive directly to the side of his head. This crack echoed in the entire stadium, and the player instantly went down. He became motionless. For several seconds, no one moved from their places. Then the trainers sprinted out to help him, and teammates formed a protective circle around him. The player attempted to stand, but he was not able to maintain balance. It was a clear sign that something was wrong. A cart was brought onto the field, and the crowd remained silent as they were all watching anxiously how he was carefully placed on a backboard. Concussions are invisible injuries, but their effects can be devastating. Dangers like memory loss, dizziness, and long-term brain issues loom around every head impact. Seeing a player struggle to focus and being unable to answer basic questions sent a chill through everyone who was watching this horrifying scene. What made this moment especially haunting was how routine the play had looked just seconds earlier with a standard swing, a normal defensive position. But then, suddenly, a medical emergency changed everything. These incidents have pushed MLB to improve concussion protocols, but they also serve as grim reminders of how little margin for error exists when hard objects travel at extreme speeds. The injury you can hear before you see. Some injuries are so violent that the sound alone could tell you the entire story. In this one shocking MLB moment, a pitcher released a pitch, and a clearly audible pop was recorded in the field microphones. He grimaced immediately and dropped his arm. He was staring at it in disbelief as he was totally confused about what had just happened. Teammates and opponents knew the sound was normal. The pitcher tried to shake it off, but within seconds, he was on the ground, clutching his elbow tightly. Later descriptions confirmed it was a torn ligament, and the damage was so severe that he had to undergo surgery. What makes moments like this terrifying is their finality, where players often describe an instant realization that something has gone terribly wrong. Careers don't always end, but they're never quite the same, because months of rehab, uncertainty on pitch, and mental struggle follow after such incidents. It was a rare glimpse into the fragility of professional athletes who are conditioned to push through pain. But when the body fails so loudly and dramatically, there is no denying the reality. A collision that changed everything. Outfielders are trained to be fearless when chasing fly balls at full speed. But sometimes, that fearlessness is what leads them to devastating collisions. One of the scariest MLB injuries occurred when two fielders converged on the same ball, and neither of them was ready to back off. The impact of the collision between them was brutal. One player was knocked unconscious instantly, while his body became limp as he hit the ground. The other staggered away, and he was clearly shaken by it. Medical staff rushed to help the players, and they also signaled immediate assistance. All the teammates nearby were visibly distressed by this scene of seeing a player unconscious on the field. It is always quite alarming because anything could happen. Helmets aren't worn in the outfield, which leaves players vulnerable during high-speed collisions. In this particular case, the injured player was placed on a stretcher and carted off, and he was leaving the stadium in stunned silence. Recovering from such injuries involves more than healing bones or muscles because it also requires rebuilding the shattered confidence. The fear of another collision can linger long after the physical pain fades, as nobody wants such a scary incident to occur again. Moments like this have led teams to improve communication protocols, but they also highlight the risks players have to accept every time they sprint without any hesitation or fear. When the catcher takes the full force. Catchers are arguably the toughest players on the field, but even they aren't immune to terrifying injuries because, at the end of the day, they are also humans like us. In this unforgettable moment, a catcher took a foul tip directly to the mask, and what followed was another pitch that struck nearly the same spot. The cumulative impact left him dazed and struggling to stay upright. Despite all the protective gear, the force was pretty overwhelming. Trainers quickly recognized the signs of a concussion, and they helped him to the dugout, but he tried to wave them off. Replays showed how violent the impacts were, and each one was capable of rattling even the most experienced catcher. What makes catcher injuries particularly scary is the repetition involved in them. They absorb hit after hit, game after game, and when something finally breaks through the protection, the damage can be severe. Many catchers have spoken about memory loss and lingering symptoms long after the incident. This moment further reinforced how much punishment this specific position has to endure. It also sparked renewed discussions about improved helmet technology and workload management. The catcher's toughness is legendary, but moments like this show that toughness has limits. Conclusion. All these baseball's scariest injuries remind us how quickly a game can change and how fragile even elite athletes are in reality. Every crack of the bat carries risk of injury, the courage to face the pain, and the sacrifice for the sake of this passion. If you enjoyed watching this video, then do subscribe to our channel for more incredible MLB moments.